What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JusticeXFalls. We back at it again with another video. Today we're looking at Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. This is a remaster of the PSP game from back in the PSP days. This is a prequel to the original story of Final Fantasy VII. Now with the remake, you know, there were some changes made to the original story, so I'm assuming there will be similar changes made here to go along with this new updated retcon continuity. So without further ado, let's get to the video.
VII is an enduring classic, and the success of Square Enix's 1997 RPG also led to several spin-offs. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII was the best of them, but if you didn't buy Sony's first handheld console, the PlayStation Portable, you missed it. Some 15 years after its release, you'll get another chance to experience Crisis Core with its remade version, Crisis Core Reunion. And it appears that it'll be very similar to the PSP original, only better. GameSpot got a chance to play a short Crisis Core Reunion demo at a Square Enix preview event in Los Angeles. What was notable about the demo was just how similar it feels to the original Crisis Core in its gameplay and presentation. Final Fantasy VII Remake set a high bar for reviving a classic game, both retelling the original game's story and altering it in key ways to create something new. Crisis Core is a prequel to the original FF7, but despite its links to FF7 Remake's revised story, producer Mariko Sato previously told GameSpot that Reunion is hewing closely to the original Crisis Core's story.
Okay, so they're not going to change it too much. My question is answered.
The story and cutscenes of Crisis Core Reunion seem extremely similar to what was in the original game. The primary changes and improvements are in Reunion's combat. Though the original Crisis Core was released in 2008, it brought with it an action-centric focus on combat that feels similar to what Square Enix has done with more recent Final Fantasy games, FF7 Remake in particular. Your primary means of fighting enemies in Crisis Core comes down to melee strikes against foes, dodges to get you out of harm's way, and guarding to absorb incoming hits, although you only control one character rather than a party of 3. You can also equip materia, the crystals that allow people in the FF7 universe to use magic, that allow you to cast spells or activate special abilities during battle. Crisis Core keeps all its fighting in real time. Using your special abilities, magic spells, or healing items is done by pressing different combinations of buttons, and there's no break in the action like in Final Fantasy VII Remake. With Crisis Core Reunion, however, it's clear that the movement, melee fighting, and camera systems have been tuned up, making the combat feel like a Crisis Core spin on FF7 Remake's foundation. Crisis Core Reunion also retains the gameplay ideas that define the PSP original.
This feels so nostalgic.
Zack, a minor character from FF7, 7 years before the events of that game. The main feature of fights is the DMW, or Digital Mind Wave, a slot machine-like device that sits in the corner of your screen. The DMW is almost always running, and when it lands on matching numbers or photos of characters Zack befriends throughout the game, it conveys bonuses that can have a major effect on your strategy. One bonus might make all your magic spells free for a short period, giving you a great excuse to go ham on materia. Land on 3 pictures of the same character, and you can activate a limit break attack, similar to what's in FF7 Remake, with the move changing based on whose picture was matched. The DMW even determines when you level up. We played through 2 early boss fights in the demo, one against a pair of monsters and another against the fire-based summon spirit, Ifrit. Combat is mostly about quickly dishing out damage and then dodging or guarding against enemies as they strike back, with the DMW determining your moment-to-moment strategy so you can take advantage of its bonuses. While the DMW encourages you to use certain elements of your loadout or a limit break attack, it's not all automatic. Just because a limit break is available doesn't mean you have to activate it immediately.
You can save it.
Control over when to unleash your biggest hits. The main reason why you might want to hold back and time your offensive is a new system that lets you cancel your enemy's most powerful attacks. The 2 anti-soldier monsters we fought in the demo would occasionally combine forces to use a big unblockable ability called Twin Tomahawk, but unlike in the PSP version, they wouldn't activate the attack right away. Instead, you have a short window to hit the bosses while they charge up. The more damage you can limit the effectiveness of it. The weaker and less effective their attack will be when it's finally activated. The system gives you new agency to mitigate bosses' most destructive moves. It's even possible
Okay,
to completely
I like that.
stop an attack if you manage to do enough damage. Although we
I like
didn't
that.
play much of Crisis Core Reunion, the improvements to combat were really strong. Generally, it felt like the Crisis Core of 15 years ago, but more fluid and reliable, with better animations and an improved camera system. The game also looks great, sporting
Yeah, it looks
completely
amazing.
remade graphics and textures to
Looks like
upgrade
they
it from
redid the whole thing
PS2-like
over.
look of the original and bring it in line with FF7 Remake. That has some drawbacks too, however. Crisis Core was heavy on cutscenes and character interaction, and while its character animations were impressive for the time, by today's standards, they're a bit stilted and clunky. Reunion seems to maintain most or all of the same scenes from the original.
Or they
The
just reused
dialogue
the
is
assets.
occasionally slightly adjusted, but the animations of the PSP game seem to be in use here. It makes for some awkward moments, like when Zack turns around to face another direction in a cutscene and just rotates as if he's on a car on a pedestal. These moments are minor, but
weird.
they do act as a reminder that this is an old game at its core, even if it might look prettier and play better. In a
Right.
way, though, that can be a good thing. The original Crisis Core was a game that many FF7 fans missed, and which wasn't
I didn't miss
even
it.
available to a
I've
whole
had
new
it. I played
generation
it.
of
I still
players.
have it.
But despite being a remake, the impression we got was that Reunion is the Crisis Core you might remember, or the Crisis Core you missed out on. From what we played, Crisis Core Reunion looks set to be an improvement of a fan favorite, updated just enough to make it the best version of the game and a great opportunity to finally check out or replay an important chapter in the extended FF7 story. Crisis Core Reunion is set to launch on PlayStation 5, PS4, Xbox
Forgot the
Series
date.
X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC on December 13th.
Okay, December 13th. Cool. December 13th. Again, more games coming out in December. More games coming out in December. I dig it. I dig it. So, yeah, that was dope. I like what I saw there. My only critique would be the animations. And it looks like you'll get to a point in the game where this new ability power thing to stop the enemies from using their special attack will just become trivial, because look how much damage he was doing. Like, he stopped it almost every time. Like, is there gonna be like a drawback if you don't do it? Like, you get, like, they get extra damage if you fail to stop them from doing the attack? Because it just looks, if you can stop it every time, then it'd be just kind of gimmicky, you know. But I like the graphics. I like the gameplay. My only critique would be that, and my only critique would be what I just said. And what was I gonna say? The animations, the outdated animations. They could have took some time to revamp the animations. We could have waited a little longer for this, but I understand, you know, developers are under like strict deadlines from the publishers and stuff like that. So, and from the higher up, so it'd be like that. So let me know what y'all think about this. This is corny. This is cool. Are you getting it? I'm definitely getting it. I would love to play this game again. I got it on my PSP. And I'll be replaying it. So it'd be fun to see how it translates to the big boy console. So we'll see. So you already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. This is your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. One.